1, 2, 3, 4.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Hey Boo. Tonight we got
Hey,
Howard.
Hey.
We got Howard, and we got Emmy, and then we got Anthony and Hurst. So, seeing that we know the three up top, let's know a little bit about Hurst. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself, Hurst?
Yes, they call me a hearse. I'm with Raven's Altar of Darkness. We are a paranormal group. We're also a teaching place. We can be found on all platforms. We help people find their path, and we deal with more on the darker side. So when people say demons, entities, things like that, we're the people. We're like Ghostbusters. Give us a call. So that's who we are.
That's who you are. And tonight we're talking about the Ouija board.
A boot. We're talking a boot.
About the Ouija board. Still, part 2, huh? Part two. But we're missing somebody. We're missing Chrissy.
We're missing the main character.
She backed out.
No, she backed
out.
She backed out.
No
Yeah,
bueno.
she was at a nephew's birthday party. So tonight I'm playing devil's advocate for Chrissy. So I'll be doing any opposing or agreement on whatever, which I know she would oppose it. So I'm going to be opposing the Ouija board.
Okay.
And Anthony, are you sharing to the Facebook group, please?
Let's see.
People are asking.
Hey, Jenny.
Now you're going to have to give me Bible scriptures like she was going to too, though. I expect that.
I'll give you the Bible scriptures according to Howard.
It's gonna be it.
That'll work. That'll work for you.
Yeah, that'll
Yeah.
work.
Look at that. Look at all these beautiful
Steven.
people coming in on YouTube side. Hello, everybody. Welcome.
Really? Welcome, everyone. Okay. Look,
Welcome, welcome.
The women's running the show. I'm just waiting on y'all.
So the first thing we're going to do is ask questions about the Ouija board. So,
Mhm.
I mean, is it?
It's the devil.
Would you want to open up the Ouija board and do it, Howard?
No, it's evil.
No, it's
Why
not.
is-
Why would you think it's evil?
Because it's the devil.
I can't take
Why
this.
would you think it's the devil?
Me.
That's good. He's doing good.
Why is it the devil? I mean, how about if I say
Isn't it an evil spirit? Well, it's Zuzu, right? That's the I guess the guardian, the gatekeeper of the Ouija, so to speak. You talk to that person,
Zozo?
Zozo, whatever the hell it is.
oh, so
That's-
there's
Because
a name?
I
Make
don't
up
know
shit.
because
There's no
I don't know because it's the devil. I don't believe in that. I keep away from that.
There's a name for the person on the Ouija board?
Well, Zozo is
Zuzu, Zozo,
been
something like that.
conjured up. Yeah, see, Zozo's a myth. Even GT says that. Zozo's
It's a myth.
It's,
Zozo's a myth.
yeah. Some teenagers or something like that made that up one time, like, oh, Zozo's in my board and this spirit come through. You know, I look at it like this. The demon, the devil, whatever, is not going to come through that board. I mean, he's got other things and other people to go haunt and torture. I mean, some of us, the devil don't have time for us. I'm just saying,
No,
it's,
no. Zozo
you can bring
was
him through anything.
Zozo is conjured up by teenagers and glamorized by Zach Baggins. So yeah.
Steven
It's
says
still the
it's
devil.
a game.
It's still the devil.
Isn't it a bad game? Can't you open up portals?
You can open up portals.
You can open up portals with anything. I can open up a portal with a Bible.
Okay, I'm gonna go with this right now. He says, Steven says it's a game. You know, he showed that. Okay, and then he says that it's made by a toy company. Well, it's the devil.
it?
I'm
Yes.
gonna tell you this. I'm gonna tell you that.
Read your
now.
box, Howard.
It's the devil. Okay.
Mhm.
Get your box.
Because-
It should say 8 and older. Look at your box.
Well, so were land darts, but they banned those, didn't they?
Hey, we're still alive on them. I mean, it's not my fault. Some of us were stupid. Oh, we got knockers. Remember the knockers? Here's the knockers.
So they made toys. I mean, they made like the Ouija board
There's no
for
knocker.
kids to play with.
The
Yeah,
Ouija
like-
board, when you come down to it, the Ouija board is just like praying, whatever you put your attention behind. So if you open up a Ouija board and if you're looking for a bad spirit, you're going to get a bad spirit. But if you open up a Ouija board and you put your barriers, your locks all around it, do it the right way, successful way, you're going to communicate with what you need to communicate with. Now, a lot of people open up a Ouija board stupidly and just say, hello, who's there? Well, when you do that, it's like opening up a phone book. You'll get a lot of shit that'll come through. But if you do it with intentions and you do it with protection, the danger part comes out of it.
Yeah, I know. I heard a lot of stories about people playing with the Ouija board, like stuff coming after them and stuff like that.
You have to realize a lot of people use. Okay, I'm Hearst guy, so I have a very strong opinion. You have to forgive me, but a lot of things can be used like that. You can say, well, the devil's after me, or a demon's after me, or a ghost after me. When you come up with a lot of Hollywood stories, what's the first thing people feed on is fear. So once you get that fear out there, you get that, oh, it's going to get me, it's going to hurt me, it's a demon, it's a devil, then you're going into this looking for trouble. You go into this looking for something to hurt you. You go into this looking for something dark. And that's what most people do, is they go in there looking for trouble. Well, if you're looking for trouble, what's you going to get?
Trouble.
You're going to get trouble. You're going to get something.
I see. I didn't mean to cut you off. My stuff's messed up. I
Thank
can't
you,
see
Tony.
Jenny.
Thank you. That's it. See,
Jenny's
it's the
supposed to be
devil.
there. Hey, Jenny. It's not.
13 stars. Now, I've also heard this. If you like, we're live right now, and I've heard this before. So right now, if I were to show my spirit board, that energy would come into each one of y'all's places right now. Is that
It
true?
wouldn't want to come here. I'm gonna tell you that now.
Would it? Would it come to each one of us?
If you're protected, you know how to shield. You're guarded. Whatever. If you have your protections up, you know how to keep your ass safe, or butt safe. I'm sorry, I swore. I'm trying to be good.
Well,
If you got your butt covered, you're okay. But if you have any open doors, if you're running on fear, if you're running on intimidation, that could be with any electronic device. I mean, you can open up a ghost, watch a ghost app, or watch a ghost video, or watch something like that, and that can come through the phone because it's energy. Energy is energy. So yeah, it's very possible.
Like that? Me and Howard had a long discussion about that.
What,
But
this
that
one?
yes, because I was like, I want the obvious, and he said, this is just like the obvious.
Did you guys know that? Oh my God, my brain just broke. Ghost. Oh shoot!
They
The
go Anthony.
Ovilus is coming back. I'm just
They go
saying. I'm
Anthony.
telling you guys, the Ovilus is coming back.
I have a friend. She's a famous psychic, but I don't know if she wants her name out on here, so I won't say it. But she was on Ghost Adventures, and she talks about a story where she was told not to pick up the phone, and she knew not to pick up the phone. But the person that was calling was a famous person, so she said, "I'll pick up the phone." And the person was calling from a very haunted location. She was already warned not to pick up the phone. So when she picked up the phone and answered it, as soon as she got the word hello out of her mouth, the spirit transferred through her phone into her home, and it put her through a traumatic depression. She became suicidal. She didn't leave her home for 6 months. It took a big battle to get her out of it. And she was warned not to do it, but she didn't listen.
Maybe we got it on the big one. Look at that.
I want before we get too enthralled in this, or too get way too, and we start bickering and fighting and everything else, and blood starts shattering everywhere. I want to
If anybody drips blood, I'm collecting it for blood magic, so we're okay.
okay, that's good.
Okay, I'm sure
But,
you witness that. I'm like totally lost.
I want to have I would like for everybody today, or tonight, just say a prayer for Tiffany Werner's family. She's been on the show a couple of times and passed with us. She passed away. She was a young mother. She had a show called Clarity in Life, I think, something like that. And she passed away. She had a heart attack. She stayed on life. She was in ICU for 11 days fighting for her life, and she lost the battle. So she's leaving back. She's leaving a husband and 2 children. So if y'all don't mind, if anybody out there, you just keep them in your prayers. And then, like I said, this is a young mother that's out there. And like I said, she's been on the show, Moments of Clarity. That was the name of the show, Moments of Clarity. And it hit me pretty hard. I mean, matter of fact, I have a number in my phone and everything. And Matter of fact, we just talked about maybe a month ago. So it was a shock for me to find this. So, but yeah, very, very, a well-educated woman, I would have to say. She really helped a lot of people with mental illness. So, like I said, if y'all have a moment, just say a prayer for their families. I'd appreciate it anyway. So thank y'all. Okay, back to the bloodshed.
Open up
Correct.
the portals.
Well,
Open up the portals of chaos.
what about this, Hurst? What you just said a while ago to be have your protection up and everything, like when we're on these lives. And so, what about the people that claim that are spiritual and have their protection? They do cards. They're into this to this craft, but yet they freak out if you do put it up on the screen. I mean, they shouldn't freak out in the first place, right? But they do. I've been on podcasts before like that, and where
a lot of people want to say they stay in the light or they work in lighter things. When you do this for a living and this becomes your life, you're going to have times where you have to deal with dark. You're going to have to deal with light. You're going to have to deal with both situations. You just can't stay in one corner and go, well, I'm just a light worker. That don't work. There's going to be times where you have to go into that darker place, because it could be a person you're helping. It could be a team member. It could be yourself. It could be your family. There's going to be times you're drawn into that. And what happens is a lot of people, they go, well, I don't want to go into that light. The reason they don't want to go into that light most of the time is because they don't understand it. All they've learned from it is fear. They've never broke down how to keep themselves safe. Once you learn all the protocols, you become a person that can literally go in both areas and it doesn't affect you. Now, that could even be in the church, because a lot of people don't know I was a deliverance minister for 24 years before I left the ministry. And what do you hear in the church? No weapon formed against me shall prosper. I can trample on snakes and scorpions. I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. The blood of Jesus is against you. You hear all these power scriptures, all these power things. So it's just where you learn how to operate and where you need to be.
The other thing too, I was going to say, whether you're into the dark or the light, I don't do an investigation if I'm not myself. If I'm feeling a little down, depressed, even a little anxiety, I won't do it. I just can't, because you never know. Because they say like the devil or evil will prey upon people who have, that anxiety or that depression, because you're at a weaker state of mind. So it can happen anytime, anywhere.
Well, let me ask this, because I want to get in trouble. In fact, I just messaged her. I was bored and I wanted to get in trouble or something. So I'm going to ask Chrissy / demonologist person, stand in. What is the devil?
I'm sorry, I was moderating over here. What's going on?
What is the devil, Chrissy?
What is the devil? The devil is something very evil. He's the lord of the underworld. He's known as Hades.
Well, what's evil? Evil could be anything. Like somebody could bully somebody, and that they're evil. Why would somebody do that? Or people could say really horrible things. That's considered evil too.
Oh, really?
I had one person tell me.
People, within that we're talking about Emmy then, because I know what I'll tell you right now. She's been texting me, and there she is right there, and she called me bitch boy just now. So there it is. There's the devil. She did.
So that would be the evil side of me.
It's because Emmy mentioned the devil. He said it could be the devil, could be Okay, so I'm just asking.
Thank you, bitch boy.
This,
we see it, Howard. We see it.
Wow. But that is a good question. What is the devil? Because you'll have people that hide in the church, and they'll say the church is a great place. What we do is evil. It's witchcraft. But what about the preacher on Sunday that preaches the Bible, and then afterwards molests a child? It's
Well, that's
still
the
it's
thing.
still
The
it's
devil
still the
could be
light.
the devil is looked at in many ways. I mean, you could look at the devil as being an actual pitchfork, wearing the with the horns and everything, with the forked tail and all that. And that's the traditional devil, you know, search. I mean, that's what you would think is the devil, Lucifer, or whatever you want to call it. Also,
Zozo.
yeah, Zozo. But it could also be in the person. I mean, a person
Howard.
could be
I
actually
mean, never mind.
what you got? I'm Chrissy. And it could be in a person. A person could be that, just like you just said just a while ago. It could be a Catholic minister. It could be a Baptist. It could be whatever, atheist. Or it could be anybody, and they're just evil intentions, and they would be considered evil or demonic even at some point. So you could actually say that it could go either way. It could be a person. You could say, oh, that's the devil, or it could be something that's in religion. You know, you could look at it that way. What is the devil? Her name is.
What is it? Oh my God! Wow, Denise, you need a bitch slap down.
But it could be anything.
Wow.
It could be. It's. I guess you could say it's the view of the person, their beliefs, their belief systems, and stuff like that. Yeah, but
You know, like
that's
when
what I
people,
would say.
you know, when people, if you're an asshole, I didn't mean to say that out loud. I was
I
There
think
you
it was
go,
a
Denise,
family
get you
show.
started.
if you're like that in real life, you know, you're gonna be like that when you pass. And a lot of people have proven that too. And people that have passed can pretend that they're the demon, the devil, and stuff just to
Yes.
mess with you. Just
Yes.
like when you have a child come across, you don't know if that's a real child. You know, it could be a bad person just trying to pretend. You know what I mean.
Yeah, it's safe to say that I don't know. Hitler's not in heaven. Let's go that route.
So now back to what the topic was. So like this one, this is a little different one. This is my spirit box Bible.
Bible. I was going to say that's pretty cool. That's a Ouija Bible.
Yeah, it's a Ouija Bible.
Hello, everybody coming into chat. Welcome,
Ouija
welcome,
Bible.
welcome.
So of course, you know, we already established this in the past of, like I said, how much. I don't know why. I guess because I show it all the time, but it feels like I'm the only one on this podcast that ever gets my butt kicked or tries to kick my butt over this. So putting it with me like this, like, okay, so some people would say, well, I'm messing with the devil or, you know, demonic stuff or the things when it comes to this. Okay. So what is the difference between this and a tarot card reader?
Well, let me change that
And
question.
that's a good question, because that is
Let
a
me-
good question, Hurst.
Yeah.
Because what's the difference between a Ouija board and say, I don't know, a
You
Mel
call-
reader or K2 meter or
You call Anthony
anything.
Hurst.
No, I'm talking about Hurst. Hurst was getting ready to say something, and,
Yeah.
and I wanted to ask him that.
No, but I'm talking about a tarot card reader using the tarot cards.
That's true.
It's just like any
Well, like we
piece of
said,
paranormal equipment, if you really think about it.
It is a good point, but a tarot reader and Matt's a little bit different because one's, you know, either real or there's either real tarot card readers or there's fakes. They're using intuition, they're using spirit, they're using different things, or they're full of
Exactly,
crap,
Ernie.
or they're full of crap.
Uh-oh, who froze?
I think we broke hers.
I know.
Okay, so he froze. Take a screenshot of that. He's like, that's the devil coming out right now. Get him, get him.
Like what Dee just said right there. Dee said something right there. I mean, going by her Bible, no one has been judged yet until the second coming of God. See, that's her or his belief system. You know, that's what this was all. You know, it's your belief system. What is the devil? It's whatever you was taught, whatever your belief system is. That's what you're going to perceive as the devil.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for hers to answer that.
Screenshot that. Put him on full screen. Oh,
Uh-oh.
I was going to say, put him on full screen. Screenshot and we'll put horns on him.
That's true.
Where are my
I mean,
horns? I had horns. Remember
The
when we
Ouija
did that?
board, the Ouija board's just like people doing tarot cards. They're both summoning people, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I
I've
don't
never
understand. So I
used
don't
it.
understand why people are scared of the Ouija board.
I've never used the tarot cards, but to me, it's kind of like, I mean, they
Well-
can be scary too, because I know a lot of people that will not
Hey,
get near
Melanie.
tarot cards or tarot card readers.
First went boom.
Oh,
Oh,
and
so,
we got,
okay,
we got somebody who's bigger than Anthony in here.
Oh no! I'm not
There
saying
you
nothing.
go.
That's the boss of Anthony.
Oh, do I?
Who sent her the link?
Oh,
Yeah, we see that. There we go. That's what you believe in now, Anthony. That's it. That's your belief system.
thank you, Tony.
The
Okay, Howard, you got to put horns on that.
There it is.
So,
There you
well,
go,
let
Anthony.
me ask. Too late. I heard you. Let me ask Jackie. So, are you scared of the Ouija board, or it
never
just makes you
used it.
uncomfortable?
No. I think I was on a
So-
show before, and Anthony goes, I could come on and open up the Ouija board and show y'all. And I think Chrissy was the one that said no. And I'm like, yeah.
Hey, Jenna. Hey, Liz.
So I'm not scared of
My
it.
brain just broke. Would you do it or use it? Try to use it, or
Yeah, I even told Howard we should
You-
do it in the house and videotape
Oh,
us
okay.
using it.
You
Remember?
lied.
Okay.
I wanted
No, I
to open up
did.
the other night, and you was like, "Oh no,
No,
oh,
that was like because that was like a
you got to be in the
12
mood.
night.
You got to be in the mood.
Right.
And remember, we were just talking about that. If you're not yourself, you just don't want to, communicate and
I
stuff.
told you the other day. I said we should open it in the house and videotape us.
Then I
using
told
it
you
and see
about
what
that
happens.
shadow that was in the bathroom, and you're like, "Well, no." I was arguing. I was talking to Trey. I was actually.
Hey, this is a family show. Watch your mouth, please.
I was actually talking to Trey, okay, and we're actually arguing with him. I was upset with him about something, and I was, confronting him about it. And we have this musical thing that sits on a shelf. It spins around. You have to, twist it, and it plays music. Well, it's out. I mean, it works and all still, but I mean, it doesn't have no more spin to it. And this thing here, during when I was arguing with him, starts spinning on its own and starts playing music. So that's
What?
yeah.
all right.
Welcome back.
I had to summon him back.
I must have been being prayed against because the whole house lost power and shut the router off and everything.
Wow.
So
Oh
It
shit!
was the devil. Keep playing with the Ouija boards and see what happens. Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
what were we talking about? Anthony, didn't you have a question you wanted to
The
hear
Lord
from
let you have lights again.
From I forgot.
Curse? Yeah, you forgot the question.
Oh, no, I was just saying this, because I know some people that are just as afraid of tarot card readers and tarot cards as they are of the spirit board. They won't get near them. We won't get near people like that or anything. So,
but the same people have necromancer on their phone.
that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm saying. That's my whole point. Is that you do these things, with these gadgets and everything, but when it comes to this other things, cards, which are older than that, and the spirit board, which is older than that, than these apps and
That's from the
everything like
800s, ain't it?
that. So what I'm saying is, so what's the difference? I mean, it's the same thing.
There's really no difference because the phone apps, they're running on your phone 24 hours a day, on or off. And now you have electronic portal in your purse, in your pocket, in your car. You're sleeping
Yep.
with a portal by your head.
Yeah.
So
Even Tony was saying
And
that your phone is one of the biggest portals.
yeah,
something
and
like
people ain't burning their iPhones. They're not burning their Androids. They're not rebuking them in the name of Jesus. And it's okay, but as soon as you bring up a Ouija board, or you bring up tarot reading, you bring up anything that's occultist, now it's the devil.
Devil,
Right.
you know what? The devil. Shame on you for
Yeah.
bringing the devil into this world.
There's
I
no
don't know
and,
where I
there, and there's really no difference because spirit communication is spirit communication.
Yes.
So
I seen this comment just now, and it's Beth, and she says, "And women came from men, so LOL." I'm gonna quote the great almighty Archie Bunker. when I say this. God created man, and he took a rib from man and gave it and made woman. And why is that? It's because it's a cheaper cut. And that was Archie Bunker who said that. I'm not being chauvinistic, but I'm quoting.
No, I know, but wow, I like the Archie Bunker and them. But yeah, remember the 70s? They were saying words that we don't dare say nowadays.
Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly.
Yeah, you let one of these snowflakes watch one of those Archie Bunker shows, and they will sit back and freak out. I can't believe they're saying this, that, and that.
I think it'll get banned.
Archie Bunker and what was the other one? With George Jefferson. What was that one?
The Jeffersons.
Jefferson.
Yeah, the Jeffersons. Yep. That was some pretty. Yeah.
But I'm just.
But anyways, we're getting off subject. We're getting off subject. So, let me ask you, Howard / Christy. The Bible has been rewritten how many times?
I don't know. Different chapters. I mean, there's different verses of it. I mean, that's why you have the book of. Yeah.
But it's been rewritten a lot. So,
right.
You know.
And then it was written 1,500 years after.
But I mean, I'm a pastor. I mean, I'm a third degree Knights of Columbus and everything.
Stop it, Stephen.
And you're there talking about it. The Bible that was written by man. That wasn't written by God. Okay, so that's one thing that. Let's throw that out the door right now. So, I mean, what you're asking about the Bible?
Well, because does it talk about evil in there? Does it talk about the devil? And if so, how many times had it been changed?
I mean,
the Bible clearly states.
It's in Revelation.
Well, the Bible also clearly states not to speak to the dead. So when you get a lot of paranormal investigators out here that want to do ghost hunting, they're going against their own religion because the Bible says not to do this.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And why does it say that? So obviously we've been speaking with the dead many years. Because why would the Bible have that in there?
Exactly. But wasn't Jesus a necromancer? Didn't he raise the dead, speak to the dead? Did he not do a lot of witchcraft itself?
And he come back from the dead as well.
And if you look at if you go look, you'll actually see pictures of Jesus written on caves and things like that of him holding a wand. They take that all out of it. He actually did magic.
Hey, Howard, I just want to welcome the 12 people that are in your YouTube chat. Welcome, everybody. And everybody who's on Facebook side, welcome. Welcome. And if you got any questions in chat, please ask. Don't be afraid, because this is the time to ask now. Because, everybody has different opinions. I'm not like into the white or black. I'm neutral. So, I'll do a Ouija board. I'll do whatever. But I'm not out there. I'm not into the dark to where I'm going to summon something. Me personally, I don't feel comfortable doing that. But I can be around people who do that. And it's not going to bother me,
And I am the one that summons things, so I understand where you're coming from that.
Well, Gemma, she just said that. She just says this: ghosts are seen as demons, and she's got the second part in the Bible. Well, if you look at it, if there's ghosts are seen to be, they're supposed to be demons, then why, when you do the sign of the cross, it says the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost?
Well, go a little farther on that. When he was walking on the water up to the boat, and the
Holy Ghost.
Yeah, when Jesus walking on the water, and they seen him walking on the water, the disciples looked at him and said, "It's a ghost." So they literally called Jesus a demon.
Yeah, and then to add to it, I mean, I'm just saying, the cross, just like this is the cross, right? And it's saying it's crosses like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, did you know that when you just did the cross of the sign, you just did it upside down? And what does that represent?
Yeah.
When people see that, if you take your time and you look at it, draw a line when you're doing it, you're doing an upside down cross.
You're doing an upside down cross.
People don't realize that. That's witchcraft.
Okay.
Now I'm gonna throw something that's really gonna bend everybody's mind in here. And I've done this before. And I've actually I had the Jehovah's Witnesses come knock at my doors. They used to come by
You
at
answered
least
it
2 or 3
naked?
times a week. No, I didn't.
You answered naked?
had-
Oh,
I taught my daughter. Now she was a Catholic, and we of course I'm faithful to my religion and everything. But when they would come knock at my door, I taught my daughter to say these few words. I mean, these few sentences, and they would run out of here. They would say blasphemy, blasphemy, and everything else. Now, when she would come to the door, and I think her said this just a while ago, that they thought it was demonic, demons and stuff like that. I taught my daughter when they come to the doors, she said that Jesus was an alien. Okay. And over the star that was over when Jesus was born, that was the mothership, and it was sending down the baby into the manger. Now you had the angel that visited Mary, and basically she became pregnant. She's never been touched by man. No, well, that's fine. And I taught her all this. No, she was impregnated by aliens. The angel was actually an alien that was taking her to the mothership and impregnated.
look at Hurston's face. He's just like, really?
They would run out of
J-Mac,
here. It's like,
look at what
they were
highlight
gone,
what
man.
J-Mac said. J-Mac said religion and politics. 2 social medias. Where'd it go? 2 social medias that are danger zones.
Here, I want to answer to Denise Pack question right there when she says witchcraft isn't always upside down crosses. Ernie and I are witches that believe in God and Jesus.
Yep.
You want to answer that one first?
Yeah, go ahead and give me the shovel, Anthony. People don't realize that the Bible is the biggest spell book. If you dropped me off on an island and I had nothing else to do spells or anything with, and you gave me a Bible, I could still operate like I do now. There is a lot of different kind of things you could do with the Bible, different kind of spells, incantations, and they would never know you're doing it. So that's why a lot of times you have your white witches, your Christian witches, things like that, because they've learned how to operate in that sense.
Yeah, you have different styles of witchcraft too. I mean, you have your Wiccans and so on. It's just not one.
There's a whole variety. I mean, there's a whole variety of them. There's all different ones.
Right, but I was referring to when people see that, like you see it in rock bands, you know what I mean? You see the pentagrams, Motley Crue and all this, Iron Maiden,
what about the Monster Energy drink? There's 3 scratches going down it. Come on.
But you see the upside down
That's the
cross.
devil.
Anytime that you see an upside down cross, the world perceives it that is demonic or Satan or whatever, right?
I'm going to say this, that no one's bashing Jesus, because I know that has not came out of my mouth.
No, we're not bashing Jesus.
No, he says no. He's like commenting on what Jay said about talking about politics and religion. How that turns social media. And GT was saying it always turns into a Jesus bashing session. So not this chat, but other chats, we have seen that. And
I've seen that happen. I've seen friends go. They're feuding to this very day because of religion and politics.
I have seen it too. I have seen it too. I won't
discuss politics on any of my shows anyway. And as for religion, it's part of what we do. I mean, as in investigators, we it's part of what we do. We have to have some sort of faith to go in. We go in skeptical, but some of us, if you're going to exercise or if you're going to cleanse a house, you got to have some kind of faith to go in there and do these cleansings and exorcisms and such.
Yeah, to me, it's the same thing. I mean, I feel the same way. Hey, man, if it works for you, then it works for you.
Yep.
But don't bash me because I use something different that scares the crap out of you.
Exactly.
Well, it's like you go back into the Christian things real quick. Like they said, they're Christian pagans, which is awesome because people don't realize there's baneful psalms. There's all kinds of different psalms. Psalms a great big spell book. So people don't realize that you're either dark or light, man. I can tell you, I know some light friends that can use the Bible to really mess people up. So yeah, it's pretty powerful.
And I've seen people turn just because. I mean, you look at these brainwashing cults and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
And they'll use the Bible as a brainwashing tool.
Hmm.
So I've seen that happen.
Yeah.
I was going to say something where me myself, if I'm at a place and if the spirit needs help crossing over, honestly, I'm not going to do it because I just don't have the experience doing it. You know, how do you guys feel about that? Are you going? Well, I know some of you would, but like Jackie, would you help a spirit cross over if you don't have the experience?
No, that'd be Howard.
And I hear people out there talking about that all the time. Oh, I just helped somebody cross over. I mean, did you? It's really hard. It's hard for me to believe certain people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But actually, I mean, how do you know that they crossed over?
Exactly.
know.
And like a little kid,
Never.
we talked about like children. How do you know that's a real child that needs help crossing over? You know, and when you're trying to cross somebody over, aren't you still opening up another portal?
Yeah, you are opening up another portal, and I'll have to send you guys the links. We have actually on the Ghost Box where I've asked for the mom to come from the other side to get their child, and you'll hear on the Ghost Box, "Mom's here, I'm here," and then you hear the Ghost Box go, "My child, my baby," and then we'll cross them over, and then they go, "Thank you, I'm here." And then you feel like really warmth come over you. You feel like crying sometimes. So there's emotional feelings that you can get when this stuff happens if it's done right.
This is true. This is true.
Now you have other people.
You do have a physical attachment to your children. I mean, that's.
Mhm.
I'm not saying you don't, and I mean, it's. Knows when their
I
child.
can't
is,
hear you. You just like totally blew up.
Oh,
You have to read.
like I said,
God's mad at her. He ain't let her speak.
Hey, Ghost
I'm a
Eagle,
shim.
welcome.
Leave me alone. But anyway, but you have that emotional attachment to the child. You can actually physically feel that attachment to a child. So that's what I'm trying to say is that's what you have. And like you said, once you know, like in my example, I lost a child, and I know when she's nearby me, and I know when she's gone. Okay, and matter of fact, today we, like I said, the things that happened in my house to this very day, I know it's yesterday. I feel it here. I have not yet mourned the correctly since the day she has passed because she has not left.
But see, that's what gets me when it comes to like final
Right, Ernie?
when it comes to discussions about the Bible and the paranormal, supernatural, whichever word you want to use, terminology is all crazy because, like we say, prayers or spells. It just depends on what side of the fence you're coming from. But it's the same thing. It's just a different word. It's the same thing. But what gets me is that I just don't understand when people use the Bible. So to me, it's almost kind of like to me, it doesn't mix. And I will get to somebody to make me understand that, because I know that when, like, say, me and hers, we share similar backgrounds. I was a dealer ministry, I was a pastor for years and years. I've seen all that other stuff going on in there, but I did happen to read the Bible, and I did happen to learn it very well. I even went to seminary, and so I know that when you follow the Bible, the Christian faith, there is nothing else but this book. That's what you believe. That's what you follow. If it's not in there,
I want to get that.
if it's not in there, then you don't do it, and you don't take nothing, and you don't add nothing. It's what it says, and it stands. It's a rock. It stands there.
Well,
So when people do things that their own faith contradicts them to do, how does that freaking work?
well, there's so many scriptures like absent, breath, you're with the Father, things like that, and you hear so many people say, well, they either go to heaven or hell. There's no in between. They can't stay behind. They have to cross. Or you'll hear if a child dies, they don't stay behind. They're automatically taken to heaven, which I've seen many times ain't true. Sometimes that child stays back to help the parent grieve. Sometimes that child doesn't know it's died. Sometimes that parent doesn't know how to cross over. It needs help because it has mental or it has handicap things wrong with the child. So that's what made me leave the ministry after 24 years. I started seeing so many conflicts, so many things, because I'd read something and then I'd deal with it. And I'd be like, wait a minute. I'm seeing this, but the Bible's saying this. And that's what made me leave.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Is because it's if it's there, it's there. I mean, you can't just like I said, you can't use the Bible and take out whatever you want out of it that
Again,
works
it's
for
your
you.
belief system. Whatever is your belief system. That's
Well,
what
if you're
they
a
basically.
Christian,
That's
if you're
what
a Christian in the charismatic church,
Yeah.
it's you can't pick and choose what it says. Okay, I'm only going to take this out for me. I don't like that one. That one's too rough. That one's going to send me to hell. No, it's all of it or none of it. That is what the true faith is in. So you can't just ignore what it says about that you will be put to death if you commune with spirits and you're called a necromancer. It says it exactly like that.
Mhm.
That you should be put to death. And now that's according to what is, even though I know that's not the Old Testament, that's just the word that it was put. It's actually one big book without the numbers in it. That's what it truly is. So you can't just ignore that, or you didn't read it, or what? You know what I mean? And if you did read it, you just can't ignore that and just say, "Well, that's not for me. I don't think that's gonna." No, it doesn't. That if you're really following it, then your own faith condemns you.
Well, I'm just reading this statement. Gimmer's Journey Grace. She says, "I got kicked
Yes.
out of church for being autistic," and then she got told right here. She says, "I got told that I was the devil possessed."
Oh, I
You
hate
you,
that.
You, you in the
I
wrong
have-
church. You in the wrong church.
I have
Another
seen that.
church.
I have seen
Yeah, a
that
lot
being.
of religions done that.
Yeah, I have seen that being a deliverance minister. They bring their kids to me, people like that to me. This person has a demon. And I start talking to that person, and I've been through psychology school and all that, so I'm very, very knowledgeable on different things. And I'm looking at this person going, no, this person has not been checked for autism, or this person hasn't been checked for this. This person hasn't been checked for that. So when I bring that up to the main pastors or people I'm working with, it's like, oh, I don't care. I don't want to hear it. Anything medical is the devil, because your body's supposed to be clean. Man, if you're hearing that shit and you're hearing that stuff and you're going to church, leave that place, because that place is not for you. That's a place that's trying to control you. That is so disgusting. I heard that for so many years. It kills me.
And I know Gemma, and she actually didn't get diagnosed to be autistic till I think she was in her 20s. She's in her 30s now. So it took him that long.
Yeah.
And she's from the UK. So, I learned a lot about autism through her, because that's what her channel is. Because I thought autism was just one level. I didn't realize there was different
There's
Yeah.
many different
levels.
levels.
There's many
Yeah.
different levels.
Yes.
Yep. And she taught me that, and
And autism, another thing, real quick, let me interrupt you, but another thing that's really wild with autism is you can go through different seasons. You can literally change. You can be one way one time for a few months, and then go through something, change, and then it comes back another way. And people don't realize that it actually fluctuates in different people. And that's when the church comes in and goes, that's a demon. No, you're just not a very smart person.
One thing I can
You
say
know
to
what
that
I've
is
learned
God,
to notice
God made
people
you
who-
that way for a reason. God made you that
Yep.
way for a reason, and just be happy who you are and love who you are. That's the only thing I got to say.
Hey,
Well,
Jenny,
well,
if
peop-
people who have
well,
autism,
people-
I've noticed a lot of them are very sensitive.
That's what I was going to say.
and stuff. They're very sensitive.
That's what I was going to
like
say.
Gemma, she's not into the paranormal, but she's been in my chat when we've talked about it. Was doing EVPs. She would get it would get too overwhelming for her, and she would leave. She'd drop out, wouldn't even say goodbye. And I've had to tell a lot of people it's because Gemma gets, too stressed out about it, and so she just leaves.
Well,
she goes, "Yeah,
that,
I'm proud of myself. I'm autism creator."
Well, that's the thing people don't realize. When you always hear kids see things, and as kids grow up, they lose that filter. Most people lose it, and you can't see as freely. Most people that have like schizophrenic, depression, autism, any kind of those neurotical kind of diseases can see clearly. They never get the filter. They never lose any of that. So they're always seeing, they're always feeling, they're at a different level. So when I get to work with people like that, I love it, because if they're willing to go on an investigation with me, I don't have to take out a ghost box, because they're going to tell me in the house where it's haunted. They're going to tell me where it's at. They're going to show me. all I have to do is watch their emotions because they pick it up immediately, and that's what's awesome.
Wow.
I tell you what, I had a person that used to do a show with me. He was diagnosed autistic, and nobody really wanted to talk to him as much. You know, they really didn't want to. He's a paranormal investigator to this day. He has his own podcast shows and everything on another network and everything. But I'll say his name. His name is Nick Muley, and he is one of the most brightest individuals I've ever met. I mean, he is so well knowledge in the paranormal field.
Yes.
But I mean, he could tell you dates and every. I mean, he's well versed in everything.
They're
Especially
gifted. He
is very gifted.
what they lack
Very
of, they're gifted on that. I've noticed that a lot too.
Yes.
And they can hold their brain is still a sponge, like when they're a kid, and they hold a lot of that information. Like us, you know, we forget things, but people that are autistic have that special gift, and they're constantly learning and keeping that stuff in their head. They're very intelligent.
You know, it was an honor and privilege to work with that man. I mean, he was, like I say, he was well gifted.
Yes.
I'm not going to say anything negative about that man. That's for dang sure. That's what I got to say about that. I mean, as an autism, I got my own theories on autism. We could go on for hours with that if y'all wanted to. But one of my biggest theories is that if you want to talk religion with autism, I believe or evolution, the best way to put it. I think autism is the next step in evolution, because the increase of autism has rose across the world significantly. And I believe it's just like if you look at a beehive, so to speak. You have worker bees, you have drones and such, and everybody has a specific job. And when you talk to an autistic person, they might not know the basic functions of how to, say, open up a bag and cooking up a bowl of soup on a stove. They might not understand that, but you put some electronic equipment from them, they're like, it blow your mind, with the stuff they can come up with. So each one of them is like everybody's programmed a certain way. So that's my belief system on that. I think it's the next step in evolution.
Gemma agrees with you, and she also says, my brain stores a lot of information. When she goes live, she has everything so organized and just constantly, updating people on autism and other, things out there. But you'll see stacks of tablets behind her because she's writing down that information and coming back. She's a poet writer too. So.
Well, the other thing people don't realize is a lot of other religions, like they'll take people with autism and they'll make them leaders. They become witch doctors. They become seers, and a lot of times they die young because they get so overused because they see so clearly. And a lot of people don't realize that, but they are used as seers, which is really wild.
Yep.
They do, because they're really, really. I mean, they're real. I mean, like I said, they're tuned into one thing and they focus on that one thing, and they're very specialized in that one thing. I mean, they know everything in that one. I mean, it's amazing. I mean, it's because I could say that because my son is autistic, and to see him,
I think my dog is.
I mean, he can. I mean, he has the basic skills of how to do certain things. But if you give him, like, we bought him for Christmas 2 years ago, that PlayStation 5. I didn't know crap about it, and I'm like, oh, and I gave it to him. He had the damn thing hooked up, set up, ready to run. And it was like 5 minutes. He was already on that. He was online. It's like,
wow.
But you can't go in there and flush a toilet, So I'm just making an example.
It's just a man thing.
No, it's not. It's a woman thing too.
No, I flush the toilet.
Yep.
Okay.
We don't keep the seats up.
Then you can lower that seat down too. Then.
Oh, I fucking hate that in the middle. Oh, I hate that in the middle of the night. Oh my god, that's horrible.
No, I tried to do this with Jackie. I mean, I left the seat up one day, and she said, "You left the seat up." And I said, "Yep." And I did that to her. And now usually I put the seat down, but now I'm closing the whole thing. If I've got to lift the seat up, she can lift the seat up too.
You're going to take me on it.
You have to lift the seat up. If you just don't miss, you're fine. You don't need to
You're-
lift the seat up, but obviously you're a sloppy peer.
Well, you're going to take me on a new quest now. Thank you, Howard, because now I'm going to start looking around to see how many dark autistic people are there in this field that work in the darker side. Because now I want to know. Because now my mind's over here thinking about that. What levels do they see and operate on? So thanks.
Right.
I'm over here taking notes.
Gemma's like, sorry, I don't mean to
Glad I
take over.
could help.
You're not, Gemma. It's you know, everything connects together one way or another. Like we're talking about Ouija boards and portals. I believe people who are autistic is almost a portal themselves because they are very open-minded. They have that sponge brain and stuff. That's my belief. You know,
That's like with me. I don't put it out there very often, but I was a miracle baby. When I was born, I was a half a pound in the 70s. So they did all the experiments on me when I was younger. Told my mom, take him home. He's going to die within a few weeks. He ain't going to live. And it took me until like I was 7 or 8 to walk, until I was like 9, until I could talk. I've had to literally learn how to do things. They told me I would be like a vegetable. And with me, I understand when you have to study, because I have to study harder. You know, I have to make sure I talk clear when I'm on podcasts, because
Right.
things will make me where I can't talk, and things like that. So I know on that stage where people are coming from. So it definitely, when you have a disability in the paranormal or working in the gifts, you definitely are at a different level because you have to operate differently. You're not like everybody else. So I definitely understand that.
I got a question. So let's so Gemma, what are your thoughts on using a Ouija board? Now I'll tell you, I personally, Gemma, if you like the Ouija board, I personally would not do a Ouija board with you, just because of how sensitive you are and the anxiety you get.
While she's
But
typing
that's
that,
me.
while she's typing that, there's another thing you can look into, Hurst, is that with autism, they have a heightened sense of alertness.
Yeah.
On certain things.
I have that.
And you might want to look into how they can perceive people from the afterlife, or spirit, or something evil or something demonic in someone's home or something.
Yeah,
That's
you're gonna make
something
me.
else to
You're
look
making.
into.
You're making me go on a quest. Thank you.
Yeah, I've been like that ever since I took that hit of
Yeah,
acid.
you should say challenge accepted.
Challenge.
that crazy?
But
I love that.
he-
Yeah,
but
I stayed like that, Howard. I stayed like that.
but I'm the type of person that would take Gemma, and I would do a Ouija board with her because I would teach her how to be protected. I would show her how to be protected, and I would put my protection around her. So the whole
Yeah.
time, me and her would be doing a Ouija board. She would never feel the darker side of it because I would keep it away from her. But I would also teach her how to keep it away from her. So I think that's where the difference is. It's where you're
You're right,
comfortable, where you're comfortable in using these things. Can you protect yourself? Can you protect others? Can you teach it? Can you prove it? You know.
So Howard,
Well, Amy-
if you open the
Amy-
Ouija board, can you protect us?
And Gemma came back and said, I personally don't like the Ouija boards, but they're effective at telling them.
Well, what happens if you have a person that hasn't crossed over and they were deaf and they can't speak, and the only way they can speak to you is through a Ouija board?
Yeah, but
I
that's
have
the thing.
seen.
That's the
I
thing.
have
That's
seen
where,
that.
where it comes into conflict. When you
Mhm.
die, you're supposed to be able to. All that is supposed to go. I mean, you are 100%. You
Yeah,
hear, you can see, you can do whatever you have in there.
I am a very, very good medium, and I have a very good track record. And I have not met one person that has not crossed over that is healed. Usually, you have to go to the other side,
right.
get cleansed, let it go, and then come back, and then you're that way.
That's
But
what
then
I'm saying.
spirits. That's the next question. Spirits do cross that veil. They come in and out as they want.
They go in and out. Yes, they do.
So if they crossed over and they got hell, they can come back and they can hear, see, whatever
Mhm.
those features that they never did have.
Yeah.
I
But
mean,
what
you
if they
said
didn't?
you're medium. I am an empath, and I
Yeah.
can tell you, as my empathic abilities is that when I'm hungry, I go to the refrigerator. That's my empathic ability. That's
And the toilet. And the
in the
toilet.
toilet.
Yeah.
But I mean, I've had people tell me I'm empathic, but I don't I don't believe I do, but a lot of mediums have told me that, oh yeah, you're an empath. You in tune to certain things, because I have certain dreams and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
I believe in deja vu. I mean, I do believe that things happen and it come back and forth, but no, I don't believe in that stuff. You really have to impress me in order for me to believe that you have some kind of empathic ability or whatever, or a mediumship or whatever.
And in order to get that body, it's like we said, according to the Bible, you have to cross over already to be already with God in order to get that body. Okay, so now I understand they can cross back and forth, but what about the ones that don't cross? Those
Yeah.
are the ones that can't talk. Those are the ones that will talk through a word or through something else.
And there you go. George just said something. Mr. George Shopland just said, in my opinion, the board is just a board. Milton Bradley made billions off the board, or off the board. No disrespect to anyone.
You never
When
use
I-
them.
That's a
When I have a when I have a
Never
great
use them.
when I have a great meet, Ernie, I will let you come out. I'll pay your tickets and your hotel room. And one night with me, you will realize the board is no longer just a board.
Well,
I just
Mr. Shopland will be at Fear Fest. Him and his beautiful wife,
Yeah.
Miss Carol, will be at Fear Fest.
Well, I'm going to be a Fear Fest, so I'll take my board and I can show him too.
I'll knock
I have
yourselves
one. I
out.
usually carry one in my bag too.
we can both can.
There it is. There it is.
You know what's funny? That
There
when
it
I go
is.
through TSA, they'll see a Ouija board, but then also next to it, you'll see my holy water,
Yeah,
and then everything else.
and we would bring biscuits too, right, Emmy?
I literally have a guarantee. You hang out with me one night with what I do. There ain't one night that nothing happens, and there's one night that there is no one ever proved wrong. You come to my thing as a doubter, you leave a believer, and that's guaranteed 100%.
Yeah, biscuits and Ouija boards, Emmy.
If this wasn't a PG-13 show, I mean, when Emmy said about that X-ray machine, I could have went off on that for about 30 minutes. Just saying. I'm just going to put that out there. And what Beth says it's just a board with the intent behind it. What you're doing with it can make it bad. And that's true.
That's with anything. Like
That's with anything.
when you open a necrophonic app, that with the necrophonic app, you'll hear like whispers and you'll hear deep voices. You hear a lot of spirits trying to come through. But you're still opening that portal. And I feel with the Ouija board, you can communicate with one person is a whole lot easier because, other spirits will come in, but you can focus on that one spirit through the Ouija board, where the necrophonic app or the PSB7 and stuff like that, or the spirit box, you got all kinds of spirits trying to come through.
Well, it's like I said the last time when I used it here, there was 5 coming through here. So it's not necessarily just one. There was 5.
Now, just going back to talk about when I said about you have to prove yourself to me about being an empath, a medium, or whatever the case may be. Now, Ernie and Denise are witches, and this statement is true to the T. Denise is an empath, and because she always knows. I mean, they call me up with something, and I mean, I could find out something that day. Or
Can
something
Ernie jump on a minute?
I don't know. Ernie, you want to come on, brother?
Just tell him we got biscuits and he'll come on.
He doesn't do anything but just a biscuit now. He's got to have gravy on it.
That's true.
Biscuits and gravy, Ernie.
Oh, he's driving. He's driving. He can't.
Oh man.
Oh, he's driving and typing. Wow. It'd be easier if you come up on the show and talk and not type while you're driving. I'm just saying.
Well, if he crashes, then we can get him to come through the Ouija board.
What we got left? Are we going to go long or what are we doing? Ladies, Denise is typing.
Denise is typing.
Oh.
But that's
Well,
true about Denise. She does call you.
Denise
every
can
time.
hold the phone up next to Ernie.
Yeah.
You can do
We're
it. You can do it.
But this is a good conversation. Just
How
like
long are we going to
anything
stay on
else.
this? Because Nikki wants to come in for a second.
It's your show, Jackie.
As long as y'all want to stay on, don't matter.
Let's go. I got time.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, as long as we don't go beyond 2 hours, because Hey Boo doesn't normally do that.
Okay.
But I feel this is a
We
good
go
topic.
another. We'll
Hey,
go
hey,
another 30 minutes or so.
hey, Ernie,
Yeah.
I'm gonna send you an invite on my new podcast with hers, and we can talk about it there.
Beth goes, I feel like I worded something wrong because you guys were laughing. No, it wasn't you. We weren't laughing at you. Oh my God, Beth. No. What did you say? I didn't even pay
No, no, no.
attention.
She
Oh,
said
it's just a board, but the intent behind
Yeah.
what you're doing, it can make it bad. Yes.
Yes, I
Very,
agree with you on
very
that.
true.
I
We
agree
weren't
with
laughing at you.
Depends
We were
on
laughing
what
with
you
you,
want.
probably.
I guess it depends on where you want to talk to, right? You either go in there with good intentions or you go in there with bad intentions.
How many people do you see literally watching TikTok and places like that? They take a Ouija board. They literally take the Ouija board, set it down on the table, pick up the planchette, and they're like, "Speak to me." They don't
guys.
give it. They don't give it no authority. They don't give it no instructions, directions, nothing. So they open up a super highway.
Yeah.
What's up, Matt?
Hey, Matt.
Hey, man.
That's where things get in trouble.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, Matt.
Hey, Nikki.
What's going on with
Hey.
the
What's the matter? You
paranormal?
can't put your face on here. You want to come on here, but you don't want to be on the screen? Girl. I'm kicking you out. You
Oh,
gone.
that'd be good if actually.
You're supposed to say you're supposed to say you're going to pray for her.
There
Percy.
we go.
How does that work?
Nope. Finish.
Matt's always at work.
I know that man's nonstop working.
Well, it's
machine.
like I've said before. You know, I first used this when I was 17. I took a hit of acid, and I never was the same again.
No.
Yeah, look at you now.
I blame that. I blame
Oops, did I
that
say that out
board.
loud?
I blame that board.
But you say that, Anthony. But how many African tribes and places like that use different kind of herbs and things like that to take them into a different trance? Even Native Americans.
Peyote.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
shrooms and stuff like that.
and that was back in the 90s. So that was that really good stuff back then.
90s.
Something like that.
It opens.
80s. Yes, 80s.
Well, here's a good point though. Now we're really talking about this. So the same feeling you got, Anthony, by taking that night with the Ouija board is probably the same level that an autistic person feels in the supernatural, because they're in a higher realm.
Oh yeah, I was seeing all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Was it the acid or was it the board?
Both. but I was thinking about that the other day because now that since here lately I get asked so much. I did do that, and that was the very first time that I used the board. Actually, the board that I got was from one of my exes. Her cousin had a board, and I always wanted one. I was like, Howard, I want a board. She goes, my cousin has a board, but it's cursed. And she said, my cousin got possessed by the devil, so
Give
you
it
don't
to
want
me.
that board. So I said, you know me, that when she told me that she got possessed by the devil, you don't want it. Well, guess what I'm going to do? I want it. Get it for me. So she finally got it for me. And then I got the board. I did that, and of course, like her says, that was my very first time. And what's the first thing that I say out of my mouth? I guess because I was in La La Land. I says I want to talk to the strongest, darkest spirit out there, and it was me and 3 other guys that did it. It was 4 of us, and I kid you not that.
I kid you not. I bet you better not say your wife showed up because she will beat the living poo out of
She
you.
wasn't
I'm just
there
saying
yet.
right now.
She wasn't even born yet. I don't think she was even born yet. She was still like 12.
Hey,
11.
Howard.
But literally, this planchette, what it started to do,
Very true, Ernie.
as soon as I said that, this thing started to go in a figure 8 this way. And it was going so fast that it was actually spinning. I remember this. It was spinning underneath our fingers.
Was
That's
it leaving a tracer when it moved? Or you see like a
Yeah, I
toothpick
saw
tracer?
tracers too. Yeah, it was pretty cool. But it was doing this so fast in a figure 8 sideways that it was actually spinning underneath our fingers. So nobody was moving it that freaking fast. And then for it to spin like that underneath our fingers, then it started to spell out stuff but I went into it already peaking. I guess I could say. And so I'm out there in my mind. I'm open. I'm that open with this psychedelic thing. Just opened me up. But I did ask. I want to talk to the darkest, strongest spirit here, and then I think I even say I want to talk to Satan, and then we started to go, and it started to tell me things about me. You know, and I've seen the videos where people say, you know, these scientists and doctors that it's their own motor skills or something like that that moves it. Man, it's like I said, once somebody sees something like that, like somebody says, "Well, I really don't believe it. It's just a board, it's just a board." Well, even though I was high as a kite on the crap, but I still knew what was going on. This thing was telling me things about me that nobody knows. And the way that it was moving, there's no freaking way that we could do that. You know what I mean? I mean, like I said, this thing was going in a figure eight, and it was actually spinning underneath our fingers when it was doing. It's like that ride at the carnival was going around, and you got that other carousel turning at the same time. That's what it was doing. And after
But Anthony, we also have to look at, was it really a entity that you were connected with, or was it just something from the other side that hasn't crossed over?
Well, I didn't know what it was because I said that was the first time I did it.
Yeah, because, like I said, I'd rather deal with a demon head on than an a-hole from the other side, or someone that has a very bad attitude from the other side that hasn't crossed over, because those are the ones that'll play tricks on you. Those are the ones that'll hurt you.
Right.
Those are the ones that'll bring damage. They don't mind doing it. They did.
Right.
Yep.
And like I said, I've seen this thing do some crazy stuff that is like, and like I said, I come at everything still with a skeptic mind, even to this day. I want to know how it works. I used to make fun of it. Where do you put the batteries in it? You know what I mean? And they say something, and of course I was cussing at it at that time too. And I've heard this, later on, don't cuss at the board and don't make fun of it. Well, that time I was all out. You know what I mean? Where's the batteries at? I can't say what it's a PT.
Yeah, but see, that's the question you have to ask yourself. I mean, now you open it up. Now you're saying that you was taking some acid and stuff. Was it the board or was it the drugs?
Right.
No,
well, when you
thing was
keep taking
combined,
drugs like mushrooms, acid, you're actually opening your mind up too.
Yeah,
So
it's like taking peyote or ayahuasca. I mean, ayahuasca is it's the same thing, and this is what shamans do to get out there into the other realm, and you're gone. You know?
Yes.
So, but that's what I'm saying is when people say that it's just a board. Okay, you've never. I'm not putting them down, but you've never really experienced what this thing can really do. You really haven't seen freaking aspect.
But you're still dealing with the question. You're still dealing with the question as it going back to what we first started this show about. Some people do have the belief that the Ouija board is something that is a devil's toy. It's a devil's tool, and it shouldn't be played with.
Well, it just comes right back to the same thing. Then don't just get out of the paranormal field. That's what I was saying. Shut up and get out of the paranormal
field. What gets me, like, I've done, the Estes method and stuff like that, and we obviously can't hear like what they're saying, but we hear like on the SB7, it'll say demon or devil. What I don't like is people are like, "Oh my God, we gotta shut it off now because the demon's coming through."
Yeah, that gets on my nerves big time.
I tell everybody a couple weeks ago, and it's on my YouTube under the same name, Raven's Altar of Darkness. We were doing Estes method, and we were pushing it pretty hard. We knew what was at the house, and my co-host, my lead investigator over there at the time with me, she got possessed during the Estes method, and she went out and she stopped breathing for 5 minutes. We have it on video. And it was crazy. So I think it comes down to, seasoned, non-seasoned, believer, non-believer. If you're going to play with this, you have to be prepared for the circumstance or the outcome, the circumstance. What could happen?
Anything you use, you have to be prepared. Anything. Even a pendulum, like Ernie said earlier. I mean,
it's enough.
I am going to pass this because this is also something that
don't do it.
For Ernie, Pat, Denise makes these planchets.
Those are so cool.
And these called the EAD stone. So you can come get them. I don't know if they're going to have them at Fear Fest or not, but
I hope so.
You have to
Denise?
get some.
Yeah, but I don't want to
work.
I
They
don't
do
want to
work.
conjure up something like that with that planchette.
You know what it is.
I know what it stands for.
Yeah, but it does work.
I don't
It
want
does
to eat
work. I have
that.
to testify to that. It does work. It does work because I had
Why do you fear that?
Well, because look, it's going to conjure up I can't say it because you got a family show. What does it mean?
Well,
What
anything will conjure up. You can conjure up
what kind of stone? What kind of stone was that?
It's called
Ernie
an
says they are not
EAD
used as
stone.
planchettes.
EAD, and it stands for Eda male
Oh,
genitalia,
okay, okay.
and that's what it stands for. But it does work. It does work.
Just
'Cause
say it. Just say it.
I had back problems. My back was hurting, and this was in Kansas, and we was doing
They're
investigation
used for
up there.
protection.
And you can, yeah, but I use it for instead of protection. It actually stopped the pain in my back and my leg. I put it in my back pocket, and that's what Denise was telling me, and it stopped it. It did work.
Well, I don't know if I want to put that in my back pocket either. Back there,
I'm just saying it does work.
it'd be a lot funner if we could just say it. Just put on your
No.
your 17.
Oh, this is PG-13.
What's going on, Nikki?
They
Hey.
have other shapes. They make other shapes. They do make like male genitalia shapes.
I bet they do.
The women genitalia they make. I'm just joking. I don't know what kind of.
Emmy's
shapes they
trying to
make.
hold back.
I know
Emmy's trying to hold back.
They make the planchets.
I definitely want to talk to Ernie more. So
Ernie's
I
a great
love-
guy.
I love his energy. I can feel it.
Control.
I know
And,
this
give
is
it a
a
shout out.
family show,
We got to
but
control
look,
ourselves.
this is the rock we have. I told you.
Yep.
Jay says it's a
It's rock
Stone.
hard.
So what does that conjure up?
Really?
Oh, that was good right there. That was good.
Yeah.
Nice pun intended.
Oh, Lord.
Wow.
But yeah, Ernie's got get in touch with Ernie also because they have a place up there in Kentucky. It's Fort Duffield. It's awesome. You know, from what I've seen pictures. I've actually even Ernie's house. It's amazing. It's totally amazing.
Oh yeah.
But,
Oh,
and you need to get up there. I want to get up there so bad and go see this thing. Ernie's already told me I could stay in the master bedroom. I could sleep
Yep,
between
I
him
heard
and,
him.
and Denise. You know, that's no
I heard him.
problem. So it's all good.
Hey, George.
Wait,
are you gonna make biscuits for breakfast
wait,
then?
Rob, go to Fort Duffield. Get Ernie.
See, that comes back down to what we were originally talking about with the Ouija board, though. You know, there's so many different beliefs and so many different people out there using it for different reasons. So there's people out there that's using it for the right reason. There's people out there using it for the wrong reason. And there's people out there using it just to use it, and they don't know what they're doing. So you're going to
Send
have
Ernie a link.
multiple different outcomes.
Yeah,
Multiple
that's
different outcomes.
Like when we talk about anything we use, anything that we use to open up and communicate with spirits.
Yeah, no, I don't.
It's just a board. It's like pit bulls. Pit bulls got a bad reputation, but you know what? All in all, Chihuahuas are worse than pit bulls. Those guys are little ankle biters and stuff
I don't
like
know
that.
why they got a
bite
bad
more
reputation
humans.
because we have 2 pit bulls and they are the most loving animals we have ever.
They
owned.
are. And you own Chihuahuas too, right? Which one's
I don't
the
have
devil? Oh, I thought you had a devil. Chihuahuas are devils. Like I own Chihuahuas, and they are meaner than pit bulls. Okay, so
There
he
you go.
says, "I respect your
Well
opinion,
said.
Prince.
Well
This is
said.
why this field is loved by us. We all have our opinions. We respect everyone's points, opinions. I never use the board to investigate or communicate, so my opinion is green. Only on the board subject. Would I do or use if offered only if I trust who I surround myself with. The field is filled with people that are in it for their own personal reasons. I'm in it to give hope to people that are afraid of death. That's me. I love that.
Stated.
Yep.
Well stated. That
Well
man is
stated.
Mr. I mean, that's what he's like the guru. I mean, that's
Oh,
what I like.
oh no. Oh no.
Y'all see who's in the house
He
now.
snuck
Hey,
in.
Ernie.
He froze. He snuck in and he
He's
froze.
frozen.
Hey, Ernie, how
Howard,
you
you got to
doing?
go outside. You're frozen. Go outside and walk around. Put your aluminum hat on.
I think it's because he saw a biscuit and I
Yeah,
think
he
just
froze.
down.
That bullshit. You know, and
It happens.
It's all good.
Scott said he's used the board twice.
That's,
You know,
that's
and
the paranormal
just like other
jackass
things,
himself.
you you know, if I try to communicate with the spirit through an SB7, a lot of times, you know, they don't come through if you really want to talk to a certain person. Just like the board. The board, no pun intended, but sometimes it's just a dead night, you know? So,
Right. Just give him a second. He has some Wi-Fi issues. Just get hooked.
That's
yeah, that's why
right.
he has to go outside, remember?
It's his house. His house is freaking.
Yeah.
It's just probably. If not just, we're probably equal on haunting. He asked his
Yeah.
spirit in his house to shut the door, and he asked twice.
Where's
and
that
door
video
shut.
at? Yeah, send me that video. I'll play it.
I don't know if I will look.
Send it to, yeah, send me that video.
And I think that's what makes it so nice is having so many different people that can. We all do the same thing, but we do it differently.
Yep.
Now with
You want
me,
to say something?
yeah. Now with me personally, when I go to a place, I'm not going for the nice spirits. That ain't who I am. I'm going for the darker stuff there. So when I go there, I remove any wards, any protection that's been placed there for at any time, because I want to deal with it directly. Because sometimes when you deal with something that's darker and someone's like putting wards or trying to put blocks on it and is angry, you're going to get it angry. But if you go in there and remove anything around it and you speak to it freely, you get a different result. So that's how I use different, tools. So I love hearing everybody's different views on this. It's really awesome.
Yes, it
And
is.
like you said, everybody does have different opinions. And when I travel and meet other people, I learn stuff constantly. And I'm like, you know what? Why didn't I think of that? And I pick up, what they've done and stuff because it's, you're learning. You're really learning. Hold on, I got to pull this up.
Yeah, and I appreciate that, George. My suggestion would be if you ever did find you someone who is seasoned to do this with, watch and learn, someone that can cover you and cover the people that are around you, and that's gonna.
Next year, George, follow me next year, message me, and I will get you out to one of our locations. And I'll show you how I do it. You'll be really, really amazed.
Oh, there he is. Now he's as the paranormal jackass.
Hey, Scott.
Okay, let me do this. Okay, that.
Rob, I know
Sure.
personally. Yeah, Rob, you're a good investigator.
Paranormal jackass himself, Mr. Scott Wilson.
Yes.
Okay.
We got that video up. Let's see. Yeah.
Yep.
Y'all ready to see this?
Mm-hmm.
This is in Ernie's house in Kentucky.
Full screen this. Wait. Where's the volume?
I have Scotty. We that's how we do it.
Yep.
We do the SS method and the spirit box.
Hey, Rob.
I've never tried it with the spirit board. We still try it with the spirit box.
Can you close that door again, please? This one here in front of me. There you go.
Stop
Okay.
and then watch it.
And you notice there's no shadow behind the door, so come on.
No.
We'll watch that
How's
again.
that? Yep. Playing that video from the house. No. Can you close that door again, please? This one here in front of me.
I mean, you can even see a shadow in the cracks. You see nothing.
See no strings on the top of the door. You don't see nothing
There you go.
around. I don't see no wind.
I'll play.
No.
Good.
Thank you.
And it's shut with force.
How's that?
Isn't that cool?
I'm going to the bathroom.
One more time. Because I want people to analyze and look. Like,
Sorry, back in a sec.
you try to look for if somebody tied a string to, you would see like
Can you
fishing
close
wire
that door again, please?
on the handle because
This one
when
here in
light
front of
hits
me?
fishing line,
You
it
see it.
glistens.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's they right there by Fort Duffield and everything. Ernie's in the back room. Oh, he's right back there now. He's on the screen. He'll tell you a
There you
little
go.
bit about it.
I'll play.
See, and there's no shadow here, nothing up top. You can see the whole door where a lot of people will show like the upper part, or they don't show the whole thing. You know what I mean?
That's awesome.
There's Ernie.
Hi, Ernie.
Howdy, howdy.
Did you
That's
put your
sexy
aluminum
piece.
hat on? You need it.
He's
No,
sexy. He's good. He don't need all that. He's a sexy man.
Of course I am, Howard.
But Rob's in there. He said he lives in Kentucky. I said he has to come see you at Fort Duffield.
Yeah, you need to come down to Fort Duffield. If you're anybody that's in the area, you need to check it out. I mean,
Yeah.
it's-
Yeah, I know Rob personally. I vouch for him. He'd be good to come to your place.
yeah, it's an awesome location. We just got it opened up for private investigations, and it has delivered so far.
Nice.
So far, nothing as cool as that video from the house, but this house.
Yep.
Hang on a second. Todd is trying to start a group call here.
Todd Eskew. Right
Yeah,
here. Probably,
he's
I
trying.
see Leanne was in here. I mean, he's probably saying, "Oh, look,
Yeah.
let me mess with Ernie now."
But no, as far as the Ouija board goes, I mean, I think there was some confusion on what we were saying about it. My opinion of a Ouija board, it's not that it's just a board. It's that it's no different than any other tool we use, any REM pod or anything else that we use.
True.
Exactly.
True.
You can bring in the same kind of spirits through your apps, through your REM pod, through your K2 meter, whatever that you can bring through with a Ouija board.
Dowsing rods.
Dowsing rods.
Anything that we use in this field, you can bring in something evil if you don't know what you're doing. You don't prepare yourself spiritually, mentally, and every other way, and take precautions as to how you use them.
Yeah, but you have to look at the other side, though. I mean, you have to look at. There's a lot of people that don't believe that. A lot of people believe it's a devil's tool.
Well, those are people who've never experienced it.
No.
That's all I can say. If you've
Or
ever,
they're Bible beaters.
we could go.
I didn't mean to say it like that, but
we
that's
could go down a whole different other rabbit hole with that.
We can.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's
That will be Anthony's show.
I'm down.
Yeah.
I mean, there's plenty of bad spirits out there. There's very few demonic spirits.
Thank you.
very true.
Thank you.
In 25 years or more in this field, I might have encountered a handful of truly demonic spirits.
People don't realize last year alone there was only 350 reported cases of possession in the world. So
Exactly.
that tells you right there.
I beg to differ because during COVID, I had that phone ringing off the hook. People telling me the devil's in my house, the devil's here. And all
That was fear.
Well,
Well,
that
the only
was,
thing I told him, I did tell him, I said, well, you want to get the devil out of your house, the best thing to do is give your wife your credit card.
Here's the
Let her-
virus. I
let her
love
go.
that shirt.
and that'll be done with the devil. Or if you go on the other hand, let the lady give your husband, let him have the fishing pole, let him go, and the devil will leave you home.
What COVID did is open a lot of people's eyes about God because he wasn't saving people like they thought he would. So it opened, I hate to say it like that, but it opened a lot of people's eyes to the other side. And that's when we had a big paranormal boom. That's when we seen a big jump of people wanting to know what's there. When they started realizing their butt wasn't being saved. That's what I noticed.
Sorry to say.
I can't argue with that at all. I think
I'm trying to be good on my swearing because if you guys know me, every other word with me is a swear word, so I'm trying to keep a filter.
That's why I don't let Denise on camera. She's terrible.
Is that the truth?
And the other neat thing about that though, besides the Ouija board though, if you start to notice they close some wards down in hospitals now, they won't use them no more because they say they're too haunted. Has anybody been noticing that? They're starting to shut down hospital wards.
Denise,
No,
Yeah.
I haven't
you can
known
vouch
that.
for that.
Yeah, they're shutting down wards because they said they're too haunted and they can't put patients on them no more. So them are people that
another reason to put out publicly, but
yeah.
Before I forget, what about like okay, this goes with a lot of people. They don't like the Ouija board. They don't want to use it. Sage, a lot. Howard, I learned this from you about sage, how it could bring bad spirits in, get rid of the good spirits.
But it's a
stuff like
purifier.
that.
It's a purifier. And if you got something that's evil in your house or demonic, and you flicking sage around thinking it's going to get rid of it, no, you're not. The only thing you're doing is you're purifying the evil. You're purifying the
Not bad.
something that's demonic. You're just making it stronger. That's all you're
it's
doing.
not for banishing.
Whoops.
You're also pissing it off.
Yeah.
A lot of people are like, "Oh, I'm going to put it, go through my house with it and all that." Man, you don't realize you're just upsetting what's there,
That's
and it
all-
may not happen right away. I see where people do it and they just sit silent for a couple of days or a week. Then the next thing you know, their butt's being handed to them. So there's Rob, other side paranormal. Hey, buddy.
Rob, look up,
That was weird.
look up Ernie. That's Pac-Man Paranormal.
Pac-Man
So,
Paranormal,
Nikki,
Hauntings of Fort
what-
Dugfield.
Yes.
So what do you feel about
With
a Ouija board or using any device to communicate with the spirit?
So personally, I don't use Ouija boards, but I use everything else.
Okay, so if let's say I come and we were doing an investigation and say I want to use, are you going to sit there and watch, or are you going to back out and just go on your own and do something else? Or
I'll sit and watch.
would you participate? You'd sit and watch.
Just sit and watch and watch you guys. and
That's
stuff,
cool.
but I don't use
That's
them,
cool.
That-
At least you're open to that, and
Yeah.
I can appreciate that. But for people to go, nope, I'm out of here. I'm just fuck. Oh, sorry. Beep, where's my button? Yeah. So I like it when people are open. Ernie's Hauntings of Fort Duffield. There you guys go. There you go.
People get stuck on the Ouija board, but they'll use the Necro app and things like that. That's what makes me laugh, because now they have digital electronic portals with them 24 hours a day,
Exactly.
and it's okay to use a Necro box to talk to a spirit, but as soon as you bring out a Ouija board, oh my God, you're Satan.
Wow.
Yeah,
And I have seen people. I have dealt with cases where people actually get a lot of stuff coming in their home through their phones. That's why I tell people, if you're going to use Necro, things like that, use a junk phone, a burner phone. Don't have it on your person. Take it to work. Drive it in your car. You have it on you all the time. You don't want that on
your
you all the
location
time.
turned on, and everything,
Mhm.
everything about you. They listen. You can tell by
Yeah.
the ads that pop up on your
Mhm.
feed.
Sorry.
It's paying attention.
I had the
to what-
same thing. I had the
Not
same thing
bad.
with the evilness and all that come through my phone, because I know I get the phone bill and them damn 976 charges are hellish. I'm gonna tell you that now.
Well, you have to realize, a lot of times people don't realize is that you're bringing this stuff around you 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
And it can be very bad for you. I mean, things can happen.
Sorry.
It becomes like a little, what I call a portal trap, because with these necrophonic things, and you have spirits around, they're not going to activate. They're not going to show up. But as soon as you're going through a death, a hard time, a depression, you're going through something darker, what shows up? There they are. And you can't figure out what came in. You can't figure out why. It's right there on your phone. It's not a Ouija board doing it.
It's my phone. So we shouldn't have the app on the phone.
I would use a burner.
You can have the app on the phone, but use a burner phone or like an
Yeah.
old cell phone you had, because that way you
Yeah.
can make sure you have it in airplane mode, turn the
Mhm.
Wi-Fi off and stuff like that.
Or if you're going to have it on your phone, like I do, like Denise does, like Anthony showed does, like Howard does.
I guess I'm screwed.
I mean, just
Yeah.
be prepared,
Be prepared.
spiritually, mentally prepared at all
I
times.
guess
for
I
whatever
guess I'm screwed, Hurst.
might come through. Get you in
That on everything.
yeah, see?
It's funny, but it's not funny on that, because I've seen a lot of cases where that actually has hurt a lot of people, and they haven't realized until we went through it. So I know you guys are laughing. It's kind of funny talking about it, but it's actually a very serious thing on that.
No,
Because-
Yeah, but also, I mean, I blame the
I didn't
person
know
too.
that.
I blame the investigator as well, because once you start doing, you go into a location or a residential, wherever the case may be, and you do an investigation, you have to learn how to cleanse yourself as well. You just can't go in there and just say, "I'm done with it," go home and go have a beer. You got
Right.
to learn to cleanse yourself.
You do have
cleanse
to
your
cleanse.
equipment, and that should take care of that.
Not with
Yeah.
your phone. Not with your phone, because when you're done cleansing the location, you still have the phone on you. So it's still
You cleanse your equipment. I do that. I cleanse them. I use holy water.
oh, that's a whole nother show. I won't go there. But
next week on Hearst's show, we're going to talk about the holy water.
but if you look at the phone, literally, if you look at the phone, that's a major thing, because that is now an electrified device. Even if you ain't running it and you don't think it's running, it's still running in the background. It's still on. It's still pulsating, still pulling in spirits. Even though you're not hearing them because you don't have the app on, it's still running. Spirits are still being summoned in. Spirits are still speaking. Even if you cleanse yourself all day long, as long as you have that device on, it is still coming through.
Other side
Yeah,
that it's still
spirits
open.
are
This is true.
everywhere. They don't exist just in your phone, just in a haunted location. They exist at
Mhm.
Walmart. They exist at the gas
Yeah,
station.
they're everywhere. They're everywhere, but
Most
being
people have that
electronic,
perception where if you're at night, it's where the spirits come out with it. I've had spirits come out during the day. You know, it doesn't matter.
You see, but that's the thing. You have someone like myself. You have someone like Ernie and Jackie. We live in haunted locations already.
Yes.
So bringing in one more ghost is not going to hurt anything. I mean, the more the merrier, I guess.
Austin ain't gonna hurt. We're used to it. But for
And
the
you
average
also, you know, when
person,
you bring other spirits in, sometimes you got spirits that will actually are good spirits, and they're there to protect you
Mhm.
too. So there's you know that catch
who?
22, whatever. You got the good spirits that come in and protecting you.
Yeah.
You got the bad spirits, or you know, the tricksters and stuff.
Well, the phone app's no different. And thank you, my mind's really working today. The phone's
taking
really no
notes, he's got
different.
keypad.
The phone's really no different than an EMF pump, if you think about it. You're just putting electricity into it and you're pulling something in. So you just have a portable EMF pump charging an app.
And guess what? They make an app for that too.
Yep.
And this thing works. It works. I gotta say, it does work. This EMF pump works.
Wow.
You know, one of the things
That's an
that we've
app?
done on it,
Yes.
Oh, cool.
people use things like Jacob's ladder, or even just a stun gun. You know, with the
Mhm.
probes.
Yep.
You'll charge the atmosphere with that. It's if you are investigating, if you are an investigator and not just a thrill seeker or a hoaxer or whatever, you're going to try every means you can to make contact. And sometimes that contact might come home with you, maybe it doesn't. But bringing my phone home after using it for a necrophonic session, I feel is not a whole lot different than bringing my stun gun home, my
Yeah.
REM home, my spirit box home, anything else. It's not a whole lot different.
Yeah.
We have a radionics device. I don't know if you guys know what that is.
Yeah.
We have one of those. They're very rare. There's not a lot of them out there. They're very expensive to get.
They're very expensive.
And actually, I'm reading a book on how to build them because they're so expensive. I'm going to make them and sell them. But
Yeah.
We'll buy
Can
one.
you explain what that does? Because that's an awesome piece of equipment.
it does not create, summon. It's in the back of the van right now. It does not create, summon, conjure, or anything. What it does, it's basically like an EMF pump based on spiritual energy. It enhances the energy that is around. Everywhere that we've used it, we haven't used it on every investigation. Sometimes we just don't charge it. We don't get it out. A lot of times we just go to an investigation to experience it. You know, we don't get any equipment out. We just sit, look, and listen. But when we've used it, we have had some of the most epic experiences that you can imagine. I mean, from epic Bigfoot experiences to epic spirit experiences to UFO activity. And it goes back to, a whole other rabbit hole, how all of this is connected. It's energy based.
Yeah, I'll give a simple man's version of what it does. It removes the veil.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
Yeah, and I agree with Ernie. I'm the same way. I say this in my paranormal toolbox. I'll use the SB7. I'll use the millimeter. I'll use the necrophonics. I'll use the board. I got a sniffer too that sniffs the air. When you get that sour thing that comes in, it gets on my nerves though because it's going tick, 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 the SB7. Yeah, here you go. I got the sniffer. I'll use anything that I can get my hands on, whether it's high tech, low tech. I don't care. I don't care if it's a biscuit. I will use it too.
I'm not going to use a biscuit for that. I'm going to use it for sopping up some gravy. But no, this came from the early days of spiritualism. It was originally thought up and created. I think Thomas Edison actually had a hand in the design for it.
yes,
Tesla actually worked on a version of it. Nikolai Tesla, not Elon Musk. But it's you set it with your own energy. Each of these, it's real simple how you use it. You write your intentions on a piece of paper. You put them here. We usually hold them down with a crystal or an EAD stone. And we put them here on a piece of paper. Whatever your intentions are for your investigation.
yep,
You run your finger across this plate here while turning one of these with one hand. You're turning the knob as you're dragging your finger across here. When you feel it drag, you stop. You move
stop.
to the next dial. You go across, moving the dial. You stop. You set all 9 dials, and it's based on your energy. Whoever set the intention, and some people say it's no different than a Ouija board, or it's that. Well, no, it's not. It's no different than a spirit box or a freaking recorder that you're using for paranormal investigation.
a lot of people don't realize Thomas Edison made the first ghost trap. He designed that first, and no one knows that. That's how he stumbled on the light bulb.
Exactly.
It was not the light bulb first. It was actually a ghost trap first, and people don't ever teach that.
That's why it was encased in glass.
Yes.
It was because he wanted to catch that energy inside that glass.
And that's how he invented a light bulb.
Exactly. Hello, Chris. It's the
Hey,
paranormal
Chris.
explorer, Chris Sanders. We saw him last
I know.
weekend in Gettysburg.
Man, I could have some conversations with Ernie. I like you.
I'm easy to find, brother. Just send a friend request and we'll chat anytime.
It's
You
hard
have
to
to make
it's hard to find people on that level. That deeper level.
Right, but you have to make an appointment with Ernie's secretary,
Well,
advisor,
I'm the-
This is my secretary.
president of his fan club,
Secretary?
CEO of the Ernie, the CEO and actually owns Ernie's butt is Miss Denise Pack.
Yes, I do.
We were just speaking of Thomas Edison. Yesterday we were in Haunted Cemetery, the Pioneer Cemetery, which is just about 300 yards that way from where I'm at here in West Point. And it's not a valuable find or anything like that, but just really cool, I thought. I don't know if you can see this on here. It's a bottle that
I'm
had
gonna get you. I'm gonna get
been
you.
uncovered.
Make it full screen.
I don't know how well you can see it. But
I see the writing. What's
Can
it
you
say?
read it?
No.
No, read it to us. Can you read?
It says.
Do you know how to read, Ernie?
Well, it's dark in here. Hang on. I gotta get my old
Let
man.
Denise read. We know Denise can read.
Gotta get my old man glasses here. Hang on.
Oh, there we go.
All right. Special
The
battery.
librarian.
Thomas A. Edison Incorporated. Primary Battery Division. Bloomfield, New Jersey, USA. And
That is
we're
awesome.
talking about Edison. We just found this in a haunted cemetery from the 1700s.
Wow.
Wow.
That is
It
awesome.
looks like, it looks like an old medicine bottle.
Yeah, that's what we thought it was at first. We were like, score. score, and then it was like battery oil, and then we saw Thomas Edison. I was like, oh, score.
It actually held powder, and they would add water, and that's how they made the batteries for the batteries.
Yes.
Now, guys, I'm gonna tell you this now. Shannon Rogers, I've been chasing after that woman for quite some time. Even though I'm married to Jackie, I still chase after Shannon. She is now officially off the market, so I'm just letting y'all know.
Well, congratulations, Shannon.
Congratulations.
Well, that just broke Scotty's heart.
I know it did. It's on her Facebook page. You can see it. It says that she's in a relationship now.
Does it say the name that she's in a relationship? Because sometimes people just say in a relationship, just
So people stop bothering.
He's trying to get Scotty. He's trying to get Scotty away from
That
her.
I am respecting.
bothered me, but it ain't working.
I respect Shannon's wishes, and that's between Shannon and the world. But as of her putting it out there, yep, that she's laughing about it right there. But as for her wishes, I'm not saying a word besides what it says on Facebook. It is what it is. She's in a relationship, so there's no takers no more.
good for you,
Oh,
Shannon. Congratulations.
There's a pair of thugs, Miss Beth Allen. I look forward to seeing her at Fear Fest. I'm looking forward to her. I want to get one of them Beth Allen hugs. That's what I've heard about, getting one of them big Beth Allen hugs. That's what I'm looking forward to. So
She gives the good ones.
Yes.
Just popped in the chat.
So pretty much all of this. Hers, are you going to be at Fear Fest?
No,
And I know Nikki's not. How come you're not going to be there? Or just say it's none of your business, Emmy. Shut up.
the next one I will be.
Okay.
I'm
I
planning
look
for
forward
next
to that, Beth. I look forward to that. She said they're large and in charge. I love that.
Nice.
I like that too.
Yeah, I mean that's everybody. I think the Wraith Prince he's going to be driving in, aren't you, Wraith Prince?
Flying in.
He's
Flying.
He's flying in.
I'm gonna sit
I'm
over my
just
house
gonna
and look. They fly
jog
over
in.
my house. I'm gonna just go ahead and take shots at you.
Send up some geese.
Yeah. Just look for the big logo on the side of the plane. That'll be me.
I've invited other people that are from Florida. Jenny Love Paranormal and her husband. They're going to come there too. They can't wait. I got to send them more information. So I got to get all that information from you.
You'll have to get me there next time, and I can teach some paranormal protection classes for you.
That
That'd be perfect. I would love that. Love that. We got Mr. Michael Koff. He's going to be coming in talking about podcasting and stuff like that. Emmy's going to be doing some classes. Well, she's going to be a workshop where she's going to teach children not to be afraid of that thing in the closet and that thing that's under the bed type stuff. The spirit can be actually a good thing rather than something to be scared of.
I think parents should get involved in that too. You know, because it's the
I do,
parents that
yeah.
put the fear in the kids. You know,
I do that with me. I'm like, it's just a friend talking to you. You're fine.
Until you realize it's actually the homeowner that killed himself before. No,
Unless it's Chucky the doll. You know, Chucky's.
Yeah.
Oh, I got you, coward. We ain't
You
going
said
there.
it was friendly, Mama.
you said it was. You said it was friendly, Mama, and I don't see his face.
That's why I got this.
Yep, that's what we're going to be doing. Yeah, and we have a lot of stuff. Matter of fact, for the last couple of days, I've been going from festival to festival and stuff, and I've found some really great things. I think it's a lot of the paranormal teams and people that's in the paranormal field will really enjoy. It's also not just it's some of it is paranormal, some of it's not, but it's a taste of Louisiana and what we have to offer.
that'd be cool.
And that's what we're looking to do. We're looking to give everybody in the world a little flavor of what we have here. I got people coming in from selling CBD oils and stuff like that, gummies
Nice.
and all that good stuff. From
Can you
that all the way to
Can you fast forward to next year already? Thank you.
We even got people selling wigs. I know a lot of women wear wigs. That's coming back in style and stuff. So,
I buy me a wig. I'm gonna come home. I'll be a whole new woman to my husband. He'd be like, "Whoa."
We're gonna have amazing food there. I mean, we got people that's gonna be actually. I got one guy coming in. He said he does barbecue shrimp. You can get barbecue shrimp right there. I got people making natural flavored what they call them popsicles. And these are all fruit flavored natural popsicles. And I've seen kids
Wait.
line up for blocks for this stuff. I mean, it's good stuff.
Shannon, you just cut your hair off?
She did. She's a blonde now.
Good. And it's short.
Nice.
It's short?
Yes.
Good girl.
I'll have to see, Shannon. Oh my God.
And Miss
Wow.
Beth Allen, I have two psychic mediums psychics that are coming in. One of them is Ane, the Miss Beth Allen. She's gracing us with her psychic ability. She's going to be doing some psychic galleries as well. Denise and I always advise people to choose what. There it is.
Absolutely.
Denise is going to have a hand in this somewhere. So I mean, I'm not saying anything.
I don't even know what my natural color is anymore.
I'm just saying, whoever's watching this and it's going to be at the Fear Fest, and it doesn't have to be a paranormal investigator. It could be paranormal enthusiast or just wanting to see what we're about. Don't be surprised if this woman grabs you and just sets you down and won't talk to you and give you a reading. That's going to be Denise.
She said, "Ain't gonna be me."
So,
Beth might do that.
I also scheduled Denise to do a actual. She's going to be having a guest spot for a speaker, so she's going to be actually on stage.
She's over here going, "Nope." Denise,
It's only about 800 people, Beth. That's all. It's all going to be in that room. That's all.
Living people. She's a nerd who hates living people. She wants to be a mortician.
That's cool.
She does not like living humans.
Good.
I went to school for that.
I think it's really cool.
I'd like to be honest.
I bought one of those Indioscopes just in case, like, if I come across a crypt or something and there's a crack, I'm gonna put my Indioscope in there and check it out. I'm morbid. I'm sorry.
Denise, I told you I'm bringing it. Now I got two people now that's going to be coming there, and they're going to have everything that you could possibly buy for your fur baby. I mean, they have the shoes, the booties, they got clothes, they got jackets, they got everything you could.
Yes.
Lipstick, they got lipstick, toenail, you name it.
Yep.
I got a question. So, you were talking about this, not all just paranormal. I think Hearst would be a good speaker for the next year. Talk about the difference in the dark side and stuff. If you don't, because you're going to have somebody there for voodoo and stuff like that. Voodoo priest, I think is what you said.
We have a voodoo priest and also a vampire.
There you go. But you don't really have anybody except for Anthony, but he's still not as dark. That's no pun intended, but he's not as dark as hers.
He's got a better tan than hers.
I do. He's darker than I am.
Well, but you know what I
I'm
mean.
just a little peon. I don't know nothing.
I know you made it so good.
I would definitely be interested in something like that.
I think that'd be cool because
Yes.
I mean, it's part of the whole thing that we do, and a lot of people are feared.
Does anybody here watch the Blue Bodhi? Does anybody here watch the Blue Bodhi? Has anybody heard of her? If you look up the Blue Bodhi on TikTok, she's a very large channel. She has a shop. She's a very well-known speaker. She has a big YouTube channel. And she doesn't bring a lot of people on her podcast. She doesn't endorse a lot of people because you know how it's in the business. I just got done doing a podcast with her. She put me on her channel. She put me everywhere. And we have a second podcast coming up next month with her. So to be brought in with her, for her to agree with me, for her to back me up, stuff like that, that's a lot. So it's really awesome, and I'm definitely growing every day, and a lot of things are going on with us. Yeah, because like I said, I have a channel. I'm also a teacher. I have mentorship programs. I have classes. I have all kinds of things we do behind the scene. So that would be awesome.
That's what a lot of people don't understand out there too. You're only seeing this part of our life on here. You don't realize, a lot of people don't realize there's so much more. I do a lot of live streams, especially when we're out traveling around.
I have to disagree with that. They see a lot of my life. I mean, I bring people when I take a bath. I bring people when I go shopping.
Well, you know what I mean.
I'm in a grocery store. I go everywhere. I go
Walmart.
live.
Walmart. That's my first time I went to Walmart was with Howard.
I don't care.
Yep.
Wow.
They go with me everywhere. So my life is open book. But at
Right.
Fairfest, I got
The
everything
public's only
covered.
seeing this much of it, and there's all this. We all have so much different things going on behind the scenes, and people don't realize that, you know. And I'll tell you this: there's a lot of people out there. Like, if you meet them in person, they're way different than on camera or on social media. Me, I'm not. Matt can vouch for that. I'm the same person on camera as I am off camera.
I'm
And
actually
very
I'm
transparent.
I'm actually all worse off camera. Every other word's a swear word. Yeah, it gets bad around me.
But we got everything
Where's my
covered at
beacon?
Fairfest.
Never
We
took
got
a
everything.
photo.
We got the metaphysical. We have paranormal, spirits and such. Oh. We have that covered. We have cryptics covered. We have everything covered for the exception of 2 categories, and that is UFOs, and then we don't have witches still. And I've been working on some people that Ernie Denise recommended me to talk to, and I've been trying to work on them and see if I can get them to put a booth in and stuff
That would
like
be
that.
great.
Get them there.
Wow.
Man,
We have one
I
witch that's going to be there, but it's gonna be
I
the witch
wish I'd have known about this sooner.
What's
Man.
that
we're
date?
looking for.
For people
Well,
that
you
Lord,
just
yeah.
met us not too long ago. That's
Alan
Anthony.
is a sweetheart.
I mean, I got mediums. I got
She's a
everything.
professional
covered.
asshole. She's a sweetheart.
Yes. Now, Crosser, she's coming to your house.
Yeah, she'll
She'll
kill your
drive up.
mom. She don't care,
Yeah.
but she's a sweetheart.
Oh, I like
Well-
that name, Harley Dark. That's a cool
I
name.
love that.
Well, next year, my co-host, she's a witch, so am I. But next year, my co-host would definitely be love to take a spot with the witch side.
Yeah, we definitely. That's what I'm on the lookout for right now. A good
I-
UFOologist and a good witch. And I'm working on the witch
I
part
think
right
it's going to
now.
be so much bigger next year because, I mean, once people get a taste of what's going on now, or even the ones that hadn't gone, they're going to hear about it,
Yeah.
word of mouth and stuff, and they'll be like, you know what, I'm going next year. So I was thinking, I don't even know if the weekend thing would be long enough because, you're going to have so many people coming in. Yeah, and
See, I'm so behind. I'm so behind what I do. I even drink liquid death. Okay, so
If I drink it, I live next to death. Don't I, baby?
I drink it. I live it. I eat it. I sleep with it. I am death. So
hey, are you going to have somebody there selling Ouija boards? I'm curious about that now.
Oh wow.
House Jackie.
That would be cool. Do you know anybody who makes or sells
he
them?
can next year because I make those.
Oh, really? Well,
Yes.
Howard, there you go.
Yeah.
You tell people to bring their
Thank you, Harley.
paranormal stuff, their paranormal equipment, and sell it while a Ouija board is part of the paranormal equipment.
One of the people I'm trying
And
to get
he
in
can
touch with.
educate.
I'm trying to get in touch with Ghost Stop. I'd love Ghost Stop to be there.
People don't
I-
have
They're moving to Virginia.
I have a connection. Let me put you in connection with him, Howard.
Yeah, I'd love to have them there. I mean, just to have some of their equipment there.
My
This is
my
like-
co-host knows them personally, like a friend, like family. So
Okay, that'd be awesome. That would be awesome.
Howard,
Just
what
to
are
get
the
them there,
dates?
sell their equipment. So
Beth, drop the dates. Beth is our person. Adventures with Beth. Are you still in here? She's got the whole
Okay.
itinerary.
Just for people who don't know.
One of my friends knows about Ouija boards.
I see that.
I want to ask the chat. In chat, who has actually used the Ouija board and is still not afraid of it? Put a 1 in chat. I'm curious.
And then I have a question also behind her question is that has anyone actually put a chicken in the microwave and butter and then put aluminum foil on it and turn it on and blow it
And then bought a brand new microwave.
They actually got microwaves now that you can that turn into. They actually got microwaves now that are actually convection ovens too, so you can't do that now.
Not according to Nikki.
Don't tell Nikki that. Okay, right there, Beth just dropped the Paralinks thing, or the Paralinks link. Yeah. Oh my God, Fearfest link. And the dates are September 29th through October 1st. So it's going to be that entire weekend. Yeah, it's going to be amazing.
Yes.
Tried to send you a pic, but it looks like, oh no, Shannon, why aren't we friends? Damn
Don't do it,
you.
Shannon. Don't do it.
I thought
Don't
we
do
were
it.
friends.
Don't
Shut up,
do
Shannon's my friend. Hold on, Shannon. I got you, girl.
So was Chucky, but then,
Yes.
oh my. Oh
Well,
Lord.
it's been
Did
an
you
hour
bring your birthday
over our
gift,
time, so I guess
We got
we
an
have to say
hour over
goodbye.
It is.
time.
It is. This was amazing.
It really was. It really was. Thank you, Hurst, for coming on. Can you tell us where we can find you at on Facebook?
You can find the Ravens Ultra of Darkness on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, everywhere. My Facebook group is, you look under groups, just type in my name and we'll let you in. We have a lot of programs going on over there to help anybody. We don't shy away from anybody, whoever you are. Awakening your abilities, in your abilities, whoever. We're here for you.
Oh, Junior.
Yes. Sounds good. Thank you, Ernie.
And you can find
Thank you,
me.
Anthony.
You can find me. We can find me and Ernie at our house. Usually Ernie's at his house and I'm at my house. So you can find us here. So if you ever want to look
Shannon,
us up,
I sent you
stop
a
by.
private message.
Thank you, Nikki, for coming on.
Thanks for having
Yes.
me, Jackie.
We will see y'all next week on Hey Boo. Bye.
I was hoping Chrissy was going to close us out in prayer, but it didn't happen.
No.
Actually, she's been texting me.
Now
We've been
listen.
talking.
Probably.
We just got home, so yep. She was wanting to know how it's going. So, but I try to play a devil's advocate for Chrissy, and yep. I mean, the Ouija board's still the devil.
Yes.
It's a bad thing to deal with.
No,
The Ouija
it's
board-
not. But we have to try it. We have to try it.
The Ouija board's just a chopping board. That's all.
You know, I know we're getting ready to go, but Jackie, she's got this confidence in her, and she's got this high energy. I think that's when you should do the Ouija board with her because it's more of a positive thing now, and she really wants to do it. So why don't you guys do the Ouija board, video it,
I'll watch
and
it.
then we can play it on a live stream and talk about it, the experience.
If she plays with that Ouija board the way she drives, it's going to hell open up here. I'm just saying.
God. Okay. Guys, love you all. Good night.
Love you.
Good night.
Thanks
See y'all
everybody
next
for
week.
coming on.
Much love.